This afternoon, we have our guest speaker, Ms. Rhonda McLeoud from South Central Health District. She's gonna be talking with you guys about tobacco prevention and all the effects of tobacco, and alcohol maybe, but more so along the lines of tobacco. I do ask that you give her your undivided attention. Please, please, please.
I know some of y'all in here, and I heard my name when I walked in, so I know some of y'all remember me too. How many of y'all in here go to Dublin? A lot of you. That's how I know a lot of y'all because my daughter goes to Dublin. She's in the 10th grade there, so. But I came to talk about tobacco today, and I know people think, well, you know, she works for the health department, so that's her job, and that's why she comes to talk about tobacco. And I've always been interested in talking to kids about not starting tobacco, but I can tell y'all, it's very much a passion for me because I lost my father and my father-in-law to lung cancer. They both smoked, and that's why they died of lung cancer. And I can't stand it when I hear people say, well, I'm gonna die of something, I may as well die of lung cancer. I'm telling you, I was with both of those men when they died. They both lived with me. And I was with both of them when they died, and you don't want to die the deaths that they died. My daddy started smoking like back during World War II. So he smoked for a long time. He said he was in Germany, and planes would fly over, and they would just drop cigarettes down to all the troops. It was just something they did. They were free. It helped the soldiers with their nerves because they were so, uptight. They were over there fighting these big battles. And he said everybody smoked and nobody really knew it was bad for you. Now, how many times have y'all been told that tobacco is bad for you? A zillion? Everybody, y'all have all been told. I'm going to tell you again. There's no excuse for anybody today to start smoking. My daddy started smoking back then. Maybe they didn't know. But he was diagnosed with lung cancer. And he told me, he said, I think I have lung cancer. And he went to the doctor. And the doctor said, no, I don't think that's where your daddy's pain's coming from. I think it's something else. And my daddy said, I want you to do a chest x-ray because I know I have lung cancer. He said he could feel it. And they did a chest x-ray, and he had 4th stage lung cancer. He had tumors in both of his lungs. I don't know if y'all know about the stages. Like, if it's 4th stage, that means it's way outside of the lungs. It was in both of his lungs. By then, it was all over his body. In fact, some of those tumors were even wrapped around his ribs. And like right here on his back, later on, you could actually see it. Like it just kind of honed out, sort of, where you could see that tumor. So he had symptoms from not being able to breathe, because I'm going to show you a video about another disease that tobacco causes. That wasn't his main symptom. He had symptoms from the other parts of the body. And he got where he couldn't breathe, and sometimes he'd say, he couldn't breathe, so I'd have to take his arm, and I'd hold it up like this. And when I held his arm up like that, it would open up his airway enough that he could get a little bit of breath in. Now, he had oxygen all the time. He had pain patches. He had morphine. He had every kind of medicine you can imagine. And the night that he died, he was at my house. And I was in the room with him. And I was so tired because I've been staying up with him around the clock. He smoked, by the way, until 2 days before he died. He was that addicted. 2 days before he died, he got where he couldn't get out of bed anymore. He couldn't eat. He couldn't swallow. They quit taking all his medicines because he couldn't swallow them, except for the pain patches and the drips. And he couldn't smoke. Well, that night, my niece was there with me. My niece is only 9 years younger than me. And she was staying up with me, and we were having to still give him shots every couple of hours because his pain was so bad. And I said, Melissa, I'm going to go lay down for just 2 minutes. I'm so tired. I hadn't slept and I don't know when. So I went and laid down. Look, I told my husband, I asked him if he'd get up and go in there and sit with Melissa because she was by herself. He said, yeah, I hadn't been in bed probably 2 minutes. My husband came back in there and he said, get up. Your daddy's bad. And when I got out of the bedroom, I could hear my daddy. Now, my daddy's a strong man. Never saw him cry. One time I saw him cry, that was when his daddy died. Only time I ever saw him cry. Never complained. But that night, he was screaming. He was yelling at me. When I went back to his room, he was shaking, just like this. And he was staring at me and he said, "Please cut me open and get this out. Cut me open and get this out." And I panicked and I called the hospice nurses, and they all, came over, and they said a normal person would be gone with all the pain medicine that he has in him. But he was still awake. This was like at 2 o'clock in the morning. He was like that, staring me in the eyes until about 7 o'clock when he died. Up until the very minute he died, I said, "Daddy, do you still hurt?" "Yeah, yeah." Shaking, begging me to cut him open. And they said what was happening is his intestines, all inside his body, they were rupturing. They were coming apart inside his body. Well, before that, I told you my father and my father-in-law have both been diagnosed. Exact same kind of lung cancer. So I've been with my father-in-law. He died the exact same kind of death. Exactly the same. I was with him. He had no pain medicine in the house because he hadn't had any pain. I'll never forget, because it was December 18th, it snowed that day. And my husband and my daughter had gone to Walmart to get him a Christmas tree to put in his room. And by the time they got back, he was in such horrible shape. He was saying, "You got to get me up, get me out of this bed. I can't lay here, help me get up." And I said, "Don, I can't get you up." He was so swollen. I mean, there was no way I could lift him. He said, get me up, I got to get up." I had to drive to Macon that night because there was nowhere to get this pain medicine in Lawrence County. I could only go to the medical center in Macon to get it. By the time I got back, he was in a coma. So he suffered like that. Now, the difference with him now is he had lung cancer, but that's not what affected him the most. We got a call one night saying that he was at the emergency room, that he had fallen. And so my husband thought, oh, well, he twisted his ankle and fell, maybe he broke his leg or something. So he goes to the hospital. He's gone for hours. I stayed at home not thinking it was a big deal. When my husband came back, he said, "It's bad." And I said, "What are you talking about?" And he said, "Daddy's got brain cancer. He's got a brain tumor." They did an x-ray because he'd lost his balance and fell. His tumor was so huge it was taking up like probably half of his brain. They went in, they took the tumor out. Within probably 4 months, it was back. Same size as it was before. So there was nothing they could do. They gave both of my daddy and my husband's daddy 6 months to live. My husband's dad lived 6 months almost to the day. My daddy lived over 2 years. They said that was nothing but a strong will to live. He wanted to live. And I think because my father-in-law's affected his brain, he couldn't fight it like my daddy did. But I'm telling you, don't ever say, "Well, you're gonna die of something." That's killing yourself. And I believe that's wrong. They did both smoke, and that's why they died. What other parts of your body do you think tobacco affects? We talked about lung cancer. Raise your hands and I'll call them. Huh? Your intestines? Yeah, I can. I told you about my... Huh? Your liver? My daddy had liver cancer? Kidneys? Very good. Your kidneys, when you're using tobacco, all those chemicals, like I brought the giant cigarette in. I don't know if y'all saw this when you came in. This is Marlboro. This is supposed to be the smoke. Is this right here? This is supposed to be the smoke from a cigarette. Now this is all the chemicals, or lots of the chemicals anyway, that are in tobacco smoke. Y'all see all those? Can y'all pronounce any of those?
Yeah.
Can you?
Somebody,
I can't pronounce it. They're really big. But look out beside these. Some of them have B's out beside it. Some of them have C's out beside it. You'll notice some of them have B's and C's. Do y'all see that? The B's mean that if a mother uses this while she's pregnant, that it can cause birth defects in her baby. And the C, what do you think the C means? Cancer, basically, it means it's a carcinogen. And a carcinogen is basically, that's what it means, is it's a cancer-causing agent. It's been proven to cause cancer in humans. Now, some of these have B's and C's. Do y'all want to put those things in your body? And when you said bladder a while ago, all this stuff, it's got to come out. Part of it's going to come out somewhere, and it's going to come out through your bladder. So you have people who smoke are at high risk for bladder cancer too. Let me show y'all this little experiment. Now, if you've ever gotten your nails done, I'm sure some of y'all have at the nail salon. You'll see this, you'll smell it. Now, it's fine to use for nails, you know, to get the fake nails off and that kind of stuff. You'll see it in fingernail polish remover too. But on here it says, warnings, keep away from children, danger. Keep away from heat, sparks, and flames. Do not use while smoking, which is ironic because it's actually in it. Harmful if taken internally. If ingested, seek medical attention immediately and contact the local poison control center. Do you want to put anything in your body that says this, don't take it into your body? Well, guess what? If you smoke a cigarette, you're putting it in your body. Because on here, see one of the chemicals in cigarette? Acetone. You see that? Right there? It causes birth defects in babies. And it's very harmful if you swallow it. Let me show you what it's going to do to this. This is just to give you an idea of how strong it is. And I can tell you, years ago, I had this plastic carrying case for my makeup and stuff. I don't want y'all to smell it too much. I had a plastic carrying case for makeup. Some of that stuff spilled in it and it melted the plastic. Watch what it does to this cup. This is a styrofoam cup.
It's poison.
It's poison.
Oh,
I can't even see.
Oh, wow.
I can't even see.
It's okay to use it for that, but you want to wash your hands. You don't want to put it in your mouth.
You burn your hand off?
No, it's not burning. If you feel the bottom of it, it's actually cold.
How about when it take your hand off?
No, it won't take your hand off. But it's dangerous to the inside of your body because it causes birth defects in babies. It causes other problems too.
I can't even see.
So it's completely gone. Hi, I'm Rhonda McLeoud. I work with the South Central Health District. I'm a health educator there. And I came out today to talk to the kids about the dangers of tobacco use. And I'm very passionate about this because I've lost family members to lung cancer, and I know what tobacco can do to a person. And I hope the kids learn something.